Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Kayla. Welcome, welcome. Just getting ready for class today. I'm going to jump ahead in our book a little bit. I'm going to wait here and see who's coming in. Give everybody a minute to jump in. Good morning, Mama. Janice. Going to be working on, we're going to jump forward in the book a little bit this morning, Mama. I'm going to go to, in the crochet book, if you pick that one, we're going to go to the pattern that is marked 075 on page 40. While I'm waiting for a couple others to show up. I almost forgot that today was Tuesday. My husband says, "You have class today, right?" I said, "Yep." But yes, we are going to start crocheting here. We're going to work on this one today, a shell grid, and I'm going to show you how you can make this into a ruana, which is it's kind of like a sweater, but it's open on the sides. And I'll show you in a small form how you can do that, but you can practice the stitch. Now for the red heart yarn, I'm going to describe to you how we can figure out the sizing for your yarn. If you wanted to make a ruana with this worsted weight yarn, we need to use a US size 9 or an I crochet hook. And it says here that 12 single crochets equals 4 inches. So if 12 single crochets equals 4 inches, then divide that by 4 is 3. 3 single crochets should be an inch. So if you wanted to make a ruana with this, normally a ruana will measure just slightly past your shoulders. So if you can measure from shoulder to shoulder and add 2 inches to that, that would give you the width of what you would need stitch-wise to make a ruana for yourself. The width you would then multiply by 3 because you need 3 stitches every inch. Say you measured across and it's 20 inches. You add 2, that's 22. So 22 times 3 is 66. You would have to do 66 single crochets for the stitch that we're going to do because it's 10 stitches plus 2. So if I confused you with that, I will show you what I mean. Here, I'm just going to pull a little bit of this out so we can get started. I'm going to do a slip stitch to attach this to my crochet hook. You can attach it to the crochet hook any way you like. And I'm going to show everyone the stitch that we're going to be doing this morning. Again, we're going to do this shell grid stitch. I'm not really getting good light here this morning. But I'm going to show you how you can make a ruana with this. Okay? Now, I'm going to do the ruana on a very small scale. This will fit a baby doll, so I'll probably give it to my sister because she likes to make crocheted dolls with clothing. So I'll end up giving these to her. But it is a multiple of 10 stitches plus 2 for your beginning chain. So we're going to go ahead and chain 20. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. Is there anyone here who is a new crocheter? If so, please let me know. And we're going to chain the extra 2 for our beginning chain. And we are going to single crochet in the third chain from the hook. So the last 2 stitches that you did, we're not going to work in those. We're going to go to the third stitch here. And we are going to do a single crochet in that stitch right there. Now we are going to chain 3. 1, 2, and 3. And we are going to 1, 2, 3. We are going to skip 3 stitches. I'm looking at this chart over here. And we're going to work in the 4th stitch 2 double crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to work 2 double crochets right in that stitch right there. Okay, and let me come back out here. Double crochet, we're going to yarn over for anyone who's new. Go down into the stitch where we want to put that double crochet. We're going to pull up a loop through where we went in for the stitch. We have three loops on the hook right now. We're going to yarn over and pull through 2 of those loops at a time. Okay. And we're going to have a chain 2 in between those double crochets. Sorry about that. Chart reading. And we're going to do our second double crochet in that same stitch. It's going to look like that. Now we are going to chain 3 and we are going to skip 3 stitches. So chain 1, 2, 3, and we're going to skip 3 stitches. 1, 2, 3. And in this one, we are going to do single crochet in the next 3 stitches. 1, 2. I'm demonstrating a stitch, but I'm going to show you on a small scale how you can take this stitch and make a ruana, which is basically a sweater that's open. It's almost like a poncho and a sweater mixed together, but it's sleeveless. Now we're going to chain 3, and again we're going to skip 3, and we're going to be doing a double crochet. So we're going to skip 1, 2, 3, and in the 4th stitch we're going to do that double crochet, chain 2, and we're going to double crochet back into that same space. And then we are going to skip 2, 3, chain 3. We're going to skip 3 stitches. 1, 2, 3, and we're going to do single crochets in the next 2 stitches. Somehow I have an extra stitch here, I think. Yeah, that's okay. That'll weave in later. Now we are going to chain 2 and turn our work onto the next row here. And after we chain 2 for the height, we're going to chain 4 again. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And in that space where we had the chain 2 in between our double crochets here, we are going to work 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And I probably should have used a bigger crochet hook, but it's okay. We're going to chain 4. And then down here where we did the 3 single crochets, we're going to go into the middle one and attach it with the single crochet. And then we are going to chain 4. And we're going to repeat that 5 double crochets here in the chain 2 space that we created between these 2 double crochets. So 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I am going to use this to make myself a lacy duster for summertime. We're going to chain 4, and we are going to attach back down here in the beginning with the single crochet where we began the last row. It'll be the end of this one. And then we are going to chain 4. Okay. Hey, 5 little pumpkins, how are you? All right, we're going to turn our work, and we are going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. And in the tops of these 5 double crochets, we're going to put a single crochet in the top of each one of those. So we're going to start with this one here. 1, 2, 3. Yep. Single crochet in the top of each one of those. And I'm trying to look around my camera and do this. I got to find a different camera stand. Two, 3, 4, 5. And that's in the top of those. I think I started too early because that doesn't look great. Yeah, I did. Single crochet in the top of each of those. Oops. Trying to look around this camera arm. I might have to make an adjustment here on this camera so I can see without having to hunch over. Give me just a second. Now I got all my, can't see my other things now. I have to leave it there. That took it up a little bit higher. I can still see. Got the kids on the bus. You got a minute to relax. All right. After we do those 5 single crochets, we are going to chain 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And we are going to attach over into the top of these 5 double crochets, a single crochet in the top of each one. 1, 2. That was half double crochet. What are we doing? 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right, and then we are going to chain 3, and we are going to attach back down here into this beginning chain here with a treble crochet. So we are going to yarn our hook twice. Hello, actor Serenity darling. How are you this morning? Right into this stitch right here. Get it to go in there. Pull up a loop. And you'll have 4 loops on your hook. So you're going to yarn over and pull through 2 at a time. And you'll have something. And get it to lay flat here. Pull some of this yarn out. I'll lay it down so you can see. Now, this is the pattern that was done over 20 stitches plus 2. So the more stitches you do, the bigger pattern you'll have. We've got a couple more rows on this one here. And they're pretty much going to be repeat rows of what we just did down here. Like I said, I probably should have used a larger crochet hook on this for you to see the detail that's in there a little bit better. I wanted to jump ahead for a little more lacier work and not just do all this straight stuff so you guys can see that yes, you can do this lacy work. Now I'm going to go ahead and continue on with this next row. I'm going to have to close them out if they keep doing that. And we continue on. We are going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. And we are going to turn our work. And we are going to do a double crochet right in that same stitch. Right here. Okay. After that double crochet, we're going to chain 3. And we are going to do single crochets in the top of this 5, but we are only going to do them in the 3 in the middle. So we're going to skip the first one, go to the second single crochet from the last row. We're going to do a single crochet in that one and the 2 after it. And then we're going to chain 3. And in the center, which should be the 4th chain, should be right here, we are going to put a double crochet. That to poke through there. I want us going into the stitch and not around it so that it doesn't, move around. And then we're going to chain 2, and we're going to do another double crochet right in that same stitch. Okay, once you've got that done, we're going to chain 3. If I'm moving too fast, please let me know. Oh, the ducklings on the porch. I know about that. My brother used to raise ducklings, and he had them in a pool in his living room. I said, boy, you are crazy. All right, now we did these 2 here, and we chained 3. Now we're going to do the 3 single crochets again in the top of these 5. We're going to skip the first one and go to the second one, do a single crochet, do another single crochet, and then a 3rd single crochet in those 3 stitches. Now we're going to chain 3, and we are going to do 2 double crochets in the chain 4, which should be right here. So in that stitch we're going to put 2 double crochets. 1 and 2. Okay, and we're starting to look a little more lacy here. Working this chart, I just have to make sure I keep up with what row I'm on. I keep stopping. Now we are going to chain 3. Then we're going to turn our work, and we are going to do 2 double crochets right in that same stitch. Okay. Then we are going to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And in the top of that 3 single crochets from the last row, we're going to skip the first one, go to the second one and do a single crochet. And then we're going to chain 4. And again here, in this chain 2 space from the last row, we are going to put 5 double crochets. Oh. Is that what they call it? A scorpion net? I thought it looked like little spiders. You could do it for a little Halloween thing, and you could put little eyes, you know, or put little beads in here for eyes on the top, and you've got the little spider's legs coming off. Turn them into little spiders. After we do that, we're going to do a chain 4 again. And we were going to do a single crochet in the second single crochet from the last row. Then we're going to chain 4. And then we are going to do 3 double crochets in the top of our chain 3, which is right here. So we're going to put 3 double crochets in here. Get it to, there we go. 1. I only catch part of a stitch. I hate when I do that. Catch both of the loops. Otherwise, there we go. And we needed a double crochet. Do 3 of them right there in that stitch. Okay. You can see that there. Brittany, I am using this book here, and I do have a link in my TikTok right above my videos. It's a Linktree link with this book directly linked to Amazon. It is this one. Hello, Samantha. So this is linked in my TikTok under the Linktree right above my videos on my page. Alright, and we have a couple more rows here of this pattern before we're back to where we started from. And I'm probably going to show you this next row, which is row 6, because the row after this, row 6. The row after this, I'm going to go ahead and chain 2 for row 6, starts back over with row 1. Yeah. So the repeat would be 1 through 6 for this. So we chain 2, and we're going to put a single crochet in not the first double but the second and third double here, double crochet. So we're going to single crochet here, single crochet in the next stitch. That's the top of the 2 double crochets you did on the last row. And then we are going to chain 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And we are going to put 5 single crochets, 1 in each of the top of the double crochets from the previous row. And 5, and now we're going to chain 7 again. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and we are going to do a single crochet in the top of the 2 double crochets and our turning chain. So 1 single crochet in each of the last 3 stitches here. Top of our turning chain. There we go. Okay. So after this, you're just going to repeat those 6 rows. And this is what you're going to have. Now, I'm going to show you how you would split this off for a Ruana. I had done the math earlier based off your yarn label. How many stitches done in gauge with the right size crochet hook, which this definitely isn't the right size. You can figure out how many inches by taking a measurement across your shoulders from one side to the other. and then adding 2 inches to that. So if you take a tape measure, let me just take this tape measure real quick so I can give you some real true numbers here. And I am measuring from shoulder to shoulder across the front of my chest, and basically shoulder bone to shoulder bone. And I have 16 inches. Add 2 inches to that, makes it 18 inches. So you look at your yarn label. I'm trying to roll my tape measure back up. You look at your yarn label, and I've got it one right here. For worsted weight, this is what gives you your gauge. 12 single crochets and 15 rows will give you a 4x4 inch. So we just want to figure out how many we have to chain for 18 inches. So if 12 single crochets will give you 4 inches, then every inch is 3 single crochets, as long as you're in gauge. You have to make sure that you're not crocheting too tightly or too loosely, because you have to make your gauge. So to figure your gauge, you would do a swatch that's 4 inches by 4 inches. You do a little bit more than 12 single crochets because you want to measure inside the edges of your yarn, not edge to edge. And do 15 rows and measure inside of that and see if you have gauge. But for 3 single crochets per inch, by this gauge here, for 16 inches, or 18 inches, I'm sorry, you take 18 times 3. I don't have a calculator in front of me right now, but it's 54. You'd have to chain 54. Now, for this pattern here, it's 10, multiples of 10 plus 2. So you would do your 50 plus your 2 stitches. Actually, you would lose an inch that way if you back it off. I'd have to figure it out and test and all that, but I can figure out how to do that from the math. If you have math that you need done so I can help you and show you how to do it, particularly just for what you need to do, hit me up and I can show you on paper how to do all that math. But if I do it right now, it'll take the rest of our knitting class. So, because I chained 20 plus 2, this is 2 sections of what the pattern is showing. So, to make this into a ruana at the neck area, I would divide it in half to where I'd have 10 stitches here, and I'd work over these 10 stitches, and then I would come back and pick up and work over these 10 stitches. Hopefully I'm not confusing you too much. Donna Roberts, I'm sorry, honey. This crochet hook I got from my friend Get Crafty Brooks. There is also a link in my TikTok profile that takes you right to her Etsy shop. She makes these hooks. She has some already pre-made, and she does have some set aside for customs if you want to pick from the beads and the toppers that she has. But yes, it is Get Crafty Brooks. But for me to do that, for the ruana, I'll show you how, just in case you don't know what a ruana looks like. And if you want to follow along, it's going to make a smaller sample, but I'm going to start showing you how to take this and turn it into things in the time that we have. So I'm going to go on with this, and I'm going to chain 2. And if you follow along, you're going to get a mini ruana as well. I'm going to chain 2. We're going to turn our work, and we're going to do a single crochet right here in this second one. We're going to skip the first one, go into the second one, do a single crochet right here, and then we're going to chain 3, and then we're going to go into the 4th chain here and do a double crochet, and then we're going to chain 2. And then we're going to do another double crochet right into that same space there, same chain. And then we're going to chain 3. And we're going to come down here and we are going to do, normally for the pattern we would do 3 single crochets here like we did down here at the bottom, but I'm only going to do 1 because I'm going to be splitting this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this around. I'm going to do my, what would I be doing right now? Chain 2. Yes, I'm going to do a chain 2. Going to turn my work. And we are going to chain 4. And we are going to go into this space here. We're going to put 5 double crochets in this space here that we created. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just sitting here thinking about this too. Now we're going to chain 4. And we're going to hook this here with a single crochet. This would make a really awesome bag. If you really wanted to highlight the scorpion or the spider look in here, you could do this in black and put orange behind it for Halloween. Line it with orange fabric, make a tote out of it. That would be really cute. All right, we've done 2. Now we are going to chain 4, 2, 3, 4, turn our work. I'm going to chain 3, and I'm going to put a single crochet in the top of each one of these double crochets. 2, no, don't yarn over. 3, 4, and the last one right here. And then I need to chain 4, and I am going to, where are we at? It's telling me to do a, yeah, I need to do a treble crochet right into the top of that chain 3. So 1, 2, 3. And now, because I'm doing half of this, I have to figure out half of this graph, and graphs are not really my strong suit. All right, now we're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. We're going to turn our work. I already turned my work, didn't I? Nope, turn my work. And I'm going to do a double crochet right in that same spot. And then we are going to chain 3. And we're going to do the 3 singles in the middle. So we're going to skip the first double crochet and do the 3 right here. 1, 2, and 3 single crochets right there. And then we are going to chain 3. And we are going to 2 double crochets in the top of the chain 4 from the last row. Right there. There's 1 double crochet, and we got 1 more in the same stitch. Okay. Then we are going to chain 3, turn our work, and do a double crochet right in the top of the 2 that you just did. Actually, in the top of the first one, all in the same stitch. There we go. Now we're going to chain 4. We're going to come back down here to our excuse me, our single crochets. We're going to skip the first one and single crochet into the second one. And then we're going to chain 4. And we're going to do 3 double crochets in the top of this right here. Okay, and then we got one more row. We're going to chain 2. Actually, that one is the last row for that one. I'll pull this out here and I'm going to show you what I've done. Actually, no, there's one more row. Okay, one more row. Turn this back around. Chain 2. Did I already do a chain 2? Yes. Chain 2, and we're going to chain 7 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And we are going to attach it right into the top. Is that right? No, we just did that row. All right, we are right there. These charts confuse me because I forget which end I'm on. And for this, I've actually just worked one side of it. Well, there is one more row because I should have it ending like this. But we'll put that on there here in a minute. And it's, yeah, these 2 and then chain 7. And then these 2. But once I do this last row, I'll come back over here and start with this single crochet and rework that same pattern on this side. And then you fold both of those sides down. Of course, it's a lot longer than this because a ruana is pretty long. It's like a duster length. It's like around, mid-thigh to calf length. And you have this division here. Your head goes in the middle, just like this. Arms go out to both sides. And that's a ruana. But it would need to be a lot more. I'd probably have to do another row like this to make it longer. I wasn't thinking about the length. Yeah. I'm telling you, I love this thing when I'm crocheting. It doesn't allow me, the way I hold it, it doesn't allow me to over tighten on my pinky grip. Llama, a ruana is a duster length sweater that is open on the sides. It's pretty much, let me see if I can't draw you out a little description. And to help you be able to find it a little bit better, I don't know if that H is in there, R-H-U-A-N-A, but it is a square panel like this in the front. And then it has, a square panel in the back that matches the same length. Your arms go out this way, your head is here, your body's in the middle. So pretty much, if you lay it out flat, it looks something similar to this. And it folds right here at the shoulders. Oh, I don't know. I haven't been looking at the comments, baby girl. I'm sorry. I don't see any of your comments. When did you make a comment? A long time ago. I'm scrolling back through. No, I haven't seen any of your comments, baby girl. Not until now. Just now. Sorry about that. Oh, good morning, baby girl. I was demonstrating a stitch in this book. They call it a shell grid. Somebody called it a scorpion net. You can turn it into little spiders. You can make like a messenger style tote bag and line it. You can put little pearl beads in here to make it look like spider eyes. All kinds of things. But I hate these graphs. I hate these. I hate these. So this book is making me do these. So hopefully by the time I get done with this, I'll be really good at reading these charts. But again, yeah, the Ruana, it would have to be, I would have to do this again over here on this side, and it would fold over. You make it as long as you want. I've seen women wear them with a belt and leave the back out, only belt the two front flaps around their waist with a, a decorative belt or whatever, and wear it like that. You can do messenger bags with this. I'm going to be making some crocheted bags. I have to order some zippers, and I'm going to crochet them right onto the zippers. I'll show you guys how I do that too. I wanted to jump ahead in the book and get to a little lacier stitch so that you guys can see that it's not that hard to do. And one thing I am going to do is get out a bigger crochet hook, because actually I don't think I need to grab a bigger crochet hook because we're like not but 15 minutes to going into the knitting portion. Anybody have any questions on how to do the stitch that I just showed you? I will show you. All of these are abbreviations. This one would be a chain, and it's pretty standard throughout this whole book and pretty much throughout the crochet community. They use all of these same abbreviations. I don't know if, like for the other languages, if they use these same abbreviations or not. But this would be a chain. This would be a single crochet. This would be a double crochet, the treble crochet. They give you the chart key in here on what all of these are. And it shows you right where to put them. So, but you're working row 1. And then here starts row 2 for anybody who has issues with charts. And then row 3 would start here. And I don't know if you noticed the colors on the rows. This will be your foundation row, how many you chain. This one's a little lighter. This one's a little darker. So you can see your row. This one here is a little lighter. This one here is a little darker. Just to show you how to read these charts as well. I don't know if they call it a single crochet or a slip stitch. Some countries use different verbiage when they talk about certain things, knitting, crocheting. It's not all universal. So, I mean, I wished it was, because I've seen a lot of really pretty Russian sweaters, and the chart's there, but I just, but, yeah. Still 15 minutes. Llama, did you have any questions on that pattern? Hey, Hessa Life. I see Liv came in. Yeah, our double crochet is a treble. All right. So if you want to, we will go ahead and jump over to the knitted portion, and we are actually going to make something completely this time, because we got a little extra time, and I'm glad that we do, because I like for you to leave with something finished. Oh, let's see here. Get this marker spot. All right. We are going to work with just knit and purl stitches today. I will throw in some lacy yarn overs and stuff next week. I need a little bit more time to find something a little lacier. So we're just going to try to stay with the basics with the knit and purl for today. And I want to see if you guys can see the texture in this. We're going to work on this diamond and block. So, okay. And Llama, if you need to know what page that's on in this book, this is the book that we're working through. I also have a link. We're on page 46. Okay. And we are actually going to complete something today with this. I get my little double pointed needles with my toppers that I work on. We're going to work with, for this one, it is a multiple of 14 stitches plus 5 to make the pattern. So I'm going to pull this out here. I have 10 projects going over here. I'm almost finished with that Ronald Weasley blanket, and I will be ever so happy when I get done with it. Because I've got 9 other projects that I want to get done on top of that. But we are going to cast on, let's do 28 stitches plus 5. So we're going to do a long tail. Actually, we're not going to do long tail cast on. We're going to do it the easy way. Summer sock camp. Ooh. We're going to do a slip stitch. Slip stitch is very easy to do. You don't even have to do it all around your fingers. If you take and make a loop like this, just loop your yarn over itself, and then come to the opposite side from where this is going through and make another little loop just like that. You see how that one is underneath? That's the one you want to bring through on this side. Put your needle into this loop right here, and then you can tighten everything up. You got a slip knot. Okay? Or you can just tie your yarn onto your needle, whichever one you want to do. And we are going to do it really simple. The string that is going to your skein of yarn, that's the one we want to be looking at, where the little tail's just hanging over here. I'm going to hold it over here out of the way so it's not in the view. Nerd resin. Oh, Mr. Banana. Welcome, Patricia. All right, we're going to just drape that yarn over our thumb, grab it down here with these other fingers. And we're going to go take our needle and just run it up our thumb, which goes right into there. And then just snug that down onto there. Not too tight because you want these to move up and down freely. We're going to do 28 of those plus 5. So we've got 2, 3, 4, 5, 20. There's our 28. Now we need 5 more stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Give everybody just a second to get caught up. I'm going to grab me a sip of this coffee over here. Now, if you're following along in the book, I'm going to let you know that when there's an asterisk in there, that little star-shaped, funny-looking thing, that's going to be repeated until it tells you to stop. So you're going to do that first set of stitches if you're looking at the book, and then you're going to do the repeat. For anyone who doesn't have the book, I'm going to let you know what we need to do. So thank you for all the follows, guys. Stacy, Angie, Shameless King. Okay, we are going to go ahead and start with our first row, and we are going to purl the first 5 stitches. Now, to do a purl stitch, you stick your needle into this stitch right here on your hook, on your needle, I mean, not a hook. We're going to go to the front, and we're going to have the needle in the front. Our yarn is also going to come to the front, be facing towards you. Counterclockwise wrap your knitting needle, and we're going to bring that stitch through. Push this off. We're going to do 5 of those. Two, 3, 4, and 5. Okay. Now, the next directions are to knit 4, purl 1, and knit 4. Oh, let's just start with the knit 4. We're going to take our yarn in between our needles here and to the back. Okay, this is to the back or away from you. Some people say away from you. All right, and we are going to knit 4. Now, to do a knit stitch, we are going to go to the left of the stitch, go in to the loop that is made by it wrapping around the needle, and bring your other needle up to the back side. Okay, still wrapping counterclockwise. And we're going to hold tension on this for the new knitters. We're going to hold that tension tight down here as we pull this stitch off. Okay, you can do the same thing for the purl stitches too. Hold the tension. Okay, we're going to do 3 more of those. Alright, and then we are going to purl 1. We're going to bring our yarn back in between the needles and to the front. And we're going to do a purl stitch. Going from the right to the left. I can get it in there. I'm looking at the camera view. It is so hard to knit going through this camera view. And this first row is always really, really fiddly. So there's our purl stitch. Now we're going to take this to the back again. And we are going to knit 4. That's 1. 2. 3. I am ever so sorry about that. And 4. A robin just landed in the driveway, and he wants to get upset over a bird in the driveway. His smeller works too good. Okay, and then we are going to bring our yarn back to the front, and we're going to purl 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Give me just a minute. Nope, that's not what I wanted to do. I was trying to pause it, but maybe it's down here. I'm sorry about that. I had to make him stop because he just wasn't Mama, stop. Get down. Now. Get down. No. You want to be all up in the window barking some more. No, 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 no. All right. We are going to go back to that asterisk, Mama, where it says knit 4 right after the asterisk. Oh, I'm sorry. She heard a dog barking. If he keeps on, I'm going to have to put him out in the kitchen. I'll have to put him out of the crafter and put him in the kitchen. So we're going to take our yarn back to the back and we're going to knit 4. We are starting on the second repeat because we did more than just the 14 stitches plus whatever it says for beginning chain. So you can use this however many multiples of 14 that you want. Make it as wide as you want for whatever you want. I've got 4 knit stitches there. Now we're going to purl 1, so bring our yarn back to the front. I'm going to do a purl stitch. Yeah, I know, they're funny. They're funny. Now we're going to do 4 more knit stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we're going to purl 1. Actually, we're going to purl 5 this time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So for anyone following along that does not have the book, your first row, row 1, is going to be purl 5, and then the repeat for the row is knit 4, purl 1, knit 4, and purl 5. When you start at the first knit 4, that is the beginning of your repeat, and you're going to repeat that however many times until you get to your end. Now we're going to go on to row 2. We've turned our work, just switched needles from one hand to another. And the first directions we're going to do here is we are going to knit 5. And I didn't work that end in, but it'll be all right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And our repeat is going to be purl 3, 2, and 3. Now we're going to knit 3, 1, 2, 3. We're going to purl 3, and then we're going to knit 5. Give me just a second. Extra minutes always get stolen away. Don't you start, or you can go out in the kitchen. Now he's going to be mad because I left him out in the kitchen. Made him stay out in the kitchen. All right, so now we're going to just repeat what we just did before I had to get up. And that is purl 3. Bring our yarn back to the front. 1, 2, 3. Knit 3. Then we're going to purl 3. And then we're going to knit the last 5. One thing I like about knitting is that all of your stitches are on the needle. Why did they do that? Have you guys noticed that they have outlined who is joining Spider Mom, Jess Elliott? It's going through so fast. But they have it outlined in something different now. Alright, now we're going to knit 7 on row 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, you're a lefty. Backwards is too confusing, yes. If you need for me to show it left-handed, I can do my best. 7. I don't know if you can flip the screen and watch it. I don't know. So we've knitted 7. Now we're going to purl 5. So I'm going to bring my yarn to the front. We're going to purl 5. All right, now our repeat, for anybody who might be writing this pattern down, is going to be knit 9 and purl 5. And we're going to do that to the last 7 stitches. So knit 9. 6, 7, 8, 9. Since I use both hands, you kind of have to use both hands, don't you? Purl 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You mean it's easier to see to learn knit from a right-hander? Or now we're going to knit the last 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. For the new knitters, you see me pushing my stitches way back down here and even pulling them back up to go to the next stitch. That's to make sure that I get down past this beveled area on the knitting needle to get the true size for my stitching. Yeah. For crochet, yeah, it is in the dominant hand. I have tried crocheting with my left hand, and it really, my brain says, what are you trying to do to me? But I will try if somebody needs for me to show them. I will do my best. Okay, so on row 4, we are going to start off with the purl 6. So I'm holding my yarn to the front, okay, and I'm going to go in from the right to the left. Jen, for you, it's for the left to the right. And unless you can knit right-handed. Oh, well, the only difference with crochet in the stitches between a single crochet and a double crochet is the yarn over. So if you can do a double crochet, you can do the treble crochet because you just yarn over twice before you go down into your stitch. Oh, you can knit right-handed, yeah, because you got both your hands. Well, I'm going to have to show you when we start doing some color work. When I start showing color work, I knit with both hands. I've got yarn in this hand and yarn in this hand. Doing color work, yeah. I'm really going to confuse you. So for row 4, we're going to purl the first 6 stitches. So we're going to go with our yarn to the front. We're going to go into the stitch from right to left, and we're going to purl 6. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, Oh, Spider Mom. 5, 6. You are doing better than me, because if I drop cable stitches, I love doing cables. Cables are my favorite, but if I drop one, oh no, I've got to pull rows back. There is no dropping down to fix it because I don't know where it went. No, 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 no. I don't do that. Or I put in a lifeline so that if I have to pull it back. Now, the next 7 stitches we're going to knit, so we're going to take our yarn to the back and knit the next 7. 4, 5, 6, and 7. Spider Mom, if you do want to figure out crochet, I do crochet from 8 to 9 and then the knit from 9 to 10. So we did our 7 knit stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And the repeat for this is purl 7, knit 7. So we're going to bring our yarn back to the front, purl 7, five, 6, and 7. Yarn to the back, and we're going to knit 7, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And then for the last 6 stitches, we are going to purl 6. So yarn back to the front and purl the last 6 stitches. Thank you for the follow, Tina. Tiff, thanks for the share. Anybody who wants to come learn how to knit and crochet, I'm here to teach you. If you already know how to knit and crochet and you have problems with patterns, I'm here to help with that as well. Anything that has to deal with yarn. All right, row 5. We are going to knit 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And our repeat is going to be purl 9 and knit 5. And we're going to do that all the way to the end. So up to the front, we're going to purl 9 stitches. 2, in from the right to the left and in the front. Counterclockwise wrap your needle. I keep this needle touching this one just for, teaching and training. It helps you keep your stitch on there. I'm also, after I do my wrap, I put my tension on my yarn here with my fingers back here so that I can help keep this stitch on. I'm also using these 2 fingers to control my stitches when I need to, just to give you a little bit of the tactical of what's going on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Thank you for the follows, guys. And now we are going to knit 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I'm going to purl 9 and knit 5 because we're supposed to do that repeat all the way to the end. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And I'm going to show you something fun about purl stitches. Now we're going to knit the last 5. That'll bring us to the end. If you wanted to do your own graph pattern out for knit and purl stitches, and you can see here, we're already starting to get a little bit of a design going on here. Okay? A little bit of a design going on here. And I'm using a size 8 needle, which is around the one that's recommended for this yarn. It would be on the yarn label. I didn't go into all that detail, and I should every time, because I could very well have new people in here. All right, we are on to row 6, and they say we're going to repeat row 4. So we're going to start off with the purl 6. So again, your yarn is to the front or towards you. You're going to go in from the right to the left into the stitch. There's a little tunnel here that's created by this yarn wrapping around this other needle, and you just go right into there. All right. And counterclockwise wrap your yarn. And how many did it say for us to do? 6. 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now we're going to take the yarn to the back. Just take it right in between those 2 needles into the back. And we are going to knit 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Okay, and our repeat is going to be purl 7, knit 7, and we're going to do that to the last 6 stitches. So yarn to the front, and we're going to purl 7, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. I'm going to show you here after we get these row repeats done. And then we're going to go to knit 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7. How you can graph out your own pattern to do knit and purls to make whatever you really want to make. And we are going to purl the last 6 stitches. So we're going to bring our yarn back to the front. 2, 3, 4, 5. Jamie West, thank you for the like and the follow. Idaho Grandma, thank you for the follow. All right, now we have 2 more rows to do. We're going to repeat row 3 for this one, if you're following along in the book. If not, I will tell you. You don't have to have the book to take the class. I don't want anybody to have to spend any money. So again, we are repeating row 3 because we just did the repeat on row 4. So we're going to knit 7, okay? In from the left of the stitch to the right, yarn is to the back. Do a counterclockwise wrap, and we're going to knit 7. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Now we're going to purl 5. So yarn comes back to the front, and again from the right to the left and to the front, we are going to purl 5. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now our repeat again for this row is knit 9, purl 5. So yarn to the back, and then from the left to the right we're going to knit 5. Or knit 9, I'm sorry. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And now we're going to purl 5. Yarn to the front, from right to left. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, now we have 6 stitches remaining. We should, is it 6 or 7? 7, I'm sorry. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep. We are going to knit those 7 stitches. 4, 5, 6, and 7. Okay. And if you spread yours out, mine isn't going to spread out as much because the needles aren't that long, but you should have 2 repeats of what look like this right here. One here and then another one over here. Mine needles aren't that long that I work with for class. Okay, Now we have one more row to do, and we're going to repeat row 2. So we're going to turn our work around. We are going to knit the first 5 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4. Karen, thank you for the rows. 5. Is that Ona Lisa? Thank you for the follow. This is the repeat. We're going to purl 3. 1, 2, 3. Then we're going to knit 3, yarn back to the back. 1, 2, 3. We're going to purl 3, so yarn comes back to the front. 1, 2, and 3. And then we are going to knit 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good morning, Hoarder Ace. How are you today? Now we're going to go back to that repeat again. We're going to purl 3. 1, 2, 3. We're going to knit 3. 1, 2, 3. We're going to purl 3, yarn back to the front. 1, 2, and 3. And then we're going to knit 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay? And you repeat those 8 rows and you get this diamond and block pattern. And I think I'm actually looking on the back side now. Yep, there we go. You should have a background of knit stitches and your pattern here in purl stitches. Oh my goodness, would you have a crack in your windshield? My husband's got a chip in his. I've been telling him we need to get it fixed. But this is what it looks like. You repeat these 8 rows. And I'm going to do a couple more of them. I'm going to work through them a little quicker this time. But you can make a small little change purse with this. You can keep going. Make it really, really, really long. And you can turn it into a tablet cover. If this is long enough, let me see here. Yeah, you could use this for a cell phone cover. You would keep working it this way and it would wrap around your cell phone. This would be the long edge. Little change purse wallet type situation you could make with this. I'm going to work on doing another row so we can see it a little better. And I wished I would have had some little circulars up here, but I don't. So, and we're going to start off again, since we've done those 8 rows, we're going to start back off again at row 1 with the purl 5. For anyone who might want to write this down. 4, 5. Oh yeah, automatic ticket. That's where the chip is in my husband's windshield. Now the repeat portion is knit 4. Purl 1. Knit 4. And purl 5. Those you're going to repeat to the end. So again, that repeat is knit 4, purl 1, knit 4, and then purl 5. I'm demonstrating stitches right now out of this book, and I'm giving several things that you could do with this stitch. We are currently working on this diamond and block stitch here, and it is in this book here, which is linked in my TikTok right over my videos. Good morning, Debbie. But yeah, Ebony, this book you don't have to purchase. I will work through, you know, this is the book that I'm using to work through to teach the knitting portion here. I do knit and crochet right here. If you need any help, pattern help, or anything like that, I'm here for any and all yarn-related questions. Next row, row 2, we're going to knit 5. G with a purple heart. Do you know how to knit, or are you a basic? Do you have any basic understanding of knitting? Because I need to know where you're starting at. Gonna purl 3. Gonna knit 3. What I can do, okay. Do you have anything to knit with today? Is that kiwi jelly? Oh my goodness, I love the name. If you want to learn how to knit, I'm here. I go live a couple of times a week. There's no schedule because, you know, my health and whenever I can. If you have specific needs or you want individual, you know, classes and stuff, I can do that in a live on TikTok. I do upload all my videos to YouTube as well. Okay, well, if you want to, I'll show you the cast on. I can start this again with another pair of needles, and I have extra yarn here. I just have to grab another pair of needles here real quick. And I can show you the cast on and work through this with you again. And everybody else can work this row here in just a minute. They can continue on what they've already got started. Oh. Maybe not. What I need is these over here. Here we go. And what I'll do, this is probably going to drive you all crazy. You're like, what are you doing? Because of limited space that I have up here on this desk, I work with double pointed needles. I just put cappers on them so that they don't come out, and you guys can see a little bit. It's double pointed needles. It's got a point on both sides for working in the round. But you can put needle cappers, toppers. Oh, there it is. And it turns it into little short straights. Cable fingerless gloves. Oh, do you have a pattern? I do a lot of cabled fingerless gloves. I've done some with fur on the cuff. I have one over here. Oy. I've moved everything around. I have one over here. Here it is. I still got the stitch marker in it. This is one of the many projects that I have to finish, and this has been sitting for a little while. This one here. It's got a cable pattern in it. Let me turn on some. I don't know why it seems so dark in here now. don't know if that made too much of a difference. Probably not. Oh. But yeah, this is a long fingerless glove. It's still got the stitches on the thumb gusset because I haven't finished it up yet. But yeah, what I will do, you have to let me know, Ebony, when you have time, because I have class until 10 today. And I'm on the phone with my husband from 10:30 to 11 every day during lunch. I'll pull some of this out. And G with the purple heart. I'm going to show you how to cast on if you are still here. Everybody else, you are on, I do believe, row 2. So if you'll just wait with me there, we'll get to row 2 here in just a second. G with the purple heart. Is it G with the purple heart? Yeah. I'll show you how to cast on really quickly if you're still here. What I do is a slip knot. You can tie it on, but to do a regular slip knot, I've got the tail end here. You just loop this to where this is over top of this, like this. See how it lays over top? Then you're going to make another little loop here like this. Pass it through this way. You have to make sure that this is, yeah, it has to go this way. That it goes the opposite way of where it's laying. And you put your needle through there. Make a slip knot. There's an easier way to do a slip knot. I hold the yarn in these 2 fingers. Make an X after wrapping your index. Go through underneath and then this one. And just pull it. Slip knot. That'll count as 1 stitch. Okay, so it's secured to your knitting needle with either a slip knot or tied on. And I'm going to show you how to do a basic cast on. Okay, I'm going to take the tail and just hold it out of the way so you don't see the tail end of the yarn. I'm just going to hold it with my needle just like this and it's out of the way. Hey Judy, thank you for the hearts. Now I just take my thumb, come underneath of the yarn here, and then these fingers down here underneath are going to grab the yarn that's going out to your skein of yarn. So it looks like this. Now you're going to take and put your needle in the meaty part of your palm here, and you're going to run it up your thumb, which brings it in between those 2 pieces of string there. And then just let go of it and snug it up on your needle. Okay, this is just a basic cast on. This cast on is not stretchy. If you need to have a little bit of stretch, like for sweater cuffs and stuff, you don't want to use this one. But I'll show you that again. You just pull your thumb up underneath of there and grab this here. You're going to come up your thumb just like that. And then just snug that up. Make sure you don't do it too tight because you want these to float up and down this needle freely. We are going to put, let's just do 14 plus the 5. Okay. Actually, let's go ahead and do the 28 because if not, everybody else is going to be lost when we get to the second row. Okay, so I'm going to do this 28 times. I'll do it slow so you can see what I'm doing, and I'm trying to stay in camera frame. Let's watch it on the camera frame. Let me move this tail out of the way again. Okay, so you're just scooping up, go up your thumb, and I'll show you that on the thumb side again. I go up my thumb. You see how it grabs that yarn? So the best way to teach it is to give somebody direction on where you're going to put that needle. Up your thumb. but it grabs that loop and it allows you to tighten it up. Okay. Are you doing okay with that, G, with the purple heart? Let me count how many stitches I got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 11, 12, 13. 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, and 28. I hope I didn't mess up anybody else's stitch count by counting out loud. Now I'm going to add 5 more. Okay, we're doing 28 plus 5 because it calls for multiples of 14 plus 5. So we're going to do this pattern twice over here. And I think that I got that laying on the wrong side. Let's turn it around here. There we go. Now you can see the diamonds and the blocks there while I'm looking. This is what's going to work up the length of what you're doing. Okay. Now I'll do the 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let me double check and make sure I didn't already do the 5. Okay, yeah, you can see the blocks. The blocks will be here and the diamonds will be here. And it'll work up. I'm also going to show you how you can graph this out on graph paper to do your own. Maybe you want hearts and blocks. I'm going to show you how to do all of that before we leave class today. So, now, G with the purple heart, we're going to separate our stitches out here, okay? Now, on the first row, we're going to be doing purl stitches, okay? We're going to do 5 purl stitches. To do a purl stitch, I have to loosen this stitch up a little bit. What I do is just roll it back this way. You see me rolling it back? Loosen that stitch up a little bit so I can get in there, because sometimes this first row with this type of cast on can be a little hard. You're going to make sure that your yarn is towards you, okay? So we're going to go into the stitch from the right to the left. Keep our needle to the front and yarn to the front. We are going to counterclockwise wrap our yarn around our needle. At this point, I put tension back here on these fingers holding my yarn. So that way, when I go to do, you can see when I pull the tension on here, see how it tightens up everything here in this corner? So that this stitch isn't going to come off. All right, this needle, I'm going to keep touching this one all the way through, even underneath here. We're going to keep touching the tip to the needle, bringing out the back side of the stitch. Then I push it down past the beveled portion to make sure I get the proper sizing. That's why they have different size needles. And then the stitch that I just went into gets pushed off the edge. Okay, push these up a little bit. Divide our next stitch. We're going to go in because we've got to do 5 of these. Go in from the right to the left. Feels like I'm catching something there, but I'm not. Counterclockwise. You see I'm pinching both needles so I can let go of that one so I can wrap my yarn. I'm holding both needles here in between these 2 fingers. Counterclockwise wrap your yarn. Put your tension on there as you start to pull down. You see how it pulls tight there in the corner and it's still pulling. Keep that needle touching the other needle all the way through to the other side, still touching, and come up. This gets pushed out. That's purl stitch. Okay, we're going to do 3 more of those. 1, 2, This yarn seems like it wants to split. And 3. Okay. Are you good on the 5 purl stitches? We'll go ahead on to the next set of stitches. We're going to knit the next 4 stitches. So to do a knit stitch, we have to have our yarn in the back. So we're going to take it in between our needles and take it to the back. Okay. Now a knit stitch goes from the left of the stitch in to the loop and to the right and up the back side, so it looks like this. Okay. Yarn to the back and away from you. Still counterclockwise wrap that needle. Okay, and you're only wrapping the needle that the stitches are going on. If you're right-handed, you're wrapping the right-hand needle. If you're a lefty and you knit left, you're going to be wrapping the opposite needle because all of your working stitches are going to be over here. And then the same thing, just in reverse. Keep those 2 needles touching. And I just do this for people who are learning new. Once you get this down, you don't have to keep the needles touching. It just helps prevent stitches from falling off. Okay. Now, I'll tell you a little bit more about what I'm doing with my fingers when I do a knit stitch. My thumb is holding all the other stitches back. My index finger is holding this stitch here so it doesn't come off the end of the needle. This finger controls this yarn, plus it's also holding these stitches back as I'm putting my needle in for my next stitch. These 2 fingers are going to pinch. I'm going to wrap, tighten up my tension as I grab my needle, pull my stitch through. So everybody knows what all my fingers are doing while I'm doing this knitting here. Okay. Now, how many knit stitches do we need? I think it was 4. Yes, and we got 2. So there's 3. Move the next stitch up, and there's 4. Okay. Now we're going to purl 1, so we need to bring our yarn back to the front, and we're going to go get our next stitch here. We're going to go in from the right to the left and to the front. Counterclockwise wrap. Run your needle back through your stitch. Drop it off. Yes, it does. It does. And these are the only 2 stitches that knitting has, knit and purl, unless you want to count the yarn over as a stitch. And we'll get to yarn overs when we get to the lacier work. Okay, now we're going to knit 4. So we're going to go back and we're going to knit 4. One. 2, 3, and 4. Sometimes, even for me, the cast on row can be a little fiddly. So the next couple of rows you're going to notice it's going to get a little bit easier to get into your stitches as long as you're not knitting too tight. Now we need to purl 5. So we're going to bring this back to the front and we're going to purl 5 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now we're going to repeat that again. We're going to take our yarn to the back. I'm going to do the knit 4 because we're supposed to do that cluster of stitches to the end. So 1, 2, not cluster, but that repeat, 3, and 4. And then we're going to purl 1 And then we're going to take our yarn to the back because we're going to knit 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then the last 5 stitches we're going to purl. So bring your yarn back to the front, go in from the right to the left, and your needle to the front, and purl 4. Thank you for all the follows, everyone. Lily, Noelle, Patricia. 2, 3, 4, 5. Everyone's welcome here. Come learn to knit and crochet with us. All right, now we're on row 2. I'm going to stay on the pink one. Everyone else who was knitting with us, who was here from the start of this, we are going to start row 2 again, which I already had started row 2. So row 2, the first stitches we have are knit 5. I'm going to stay on this one with G with the purple heart, and we're going to knit 5. Are you okay with the knit and purl stitches so far? Do you have any issues with, do you need me to keep demonstrating a little slowly the knit or the purl? If so, I can do that. Take another sip of my coffee here. I'm going to go ahead on. I'll still go a little slower. If you're okay with the knit and purl stitches, I can do them a little quicker. If you need another demo, I can do that too. Just let me know. So we're going to knit 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Yes, I'm getting ready to do the purl stitches right here now, honey. Purl 3. So we're going to bring our yarn back to the front, and Lulu skip. Oh, it went rolling up. Skip. I don't know what the rest of that says. My eyesight's so bad, but yes, we're getting ready to do purl stitches. I started out with multiples of 14 plus 5, so it was 28 stitches plus 5, which is what I did. So we're going to purl 3 now. We bring our yarn to the front. We go into our next stitch from the right to the left. Needle comes to the front, excuse me. We are going to counterclockwise wrap, always counterclockwise wrap, and pull your stitch through. That's 1. Thank you, Pouring Contractor. Or are you in Pennsylvania? Again, from the right to the left, and we're going in the loop that's created by it going around the needle. Counterclockwise wrap. Hold a little tension back here on your fingers. Just hold it tight so that the yarn can't slide through your hand. Right at this point, I'm releasing tension. You can see it release here. And I'm dropping this stitch down. Okay? That's 2. We got to do one more. One more purl. Oh, Dallas. Ginger kids for life. Ginger kids, do you have red hair? We are going to knit 3. I love red hair. I want red hair. So a knit stitch, we go in from the left to the right, and then the needle goes to the back. Counterclockwise wrap and pull it through. We have 3 knits there now. Do we have 3 knits there now? Yep. So we did the knit 3. Now we're going to purl 3. Here comes some more purl stitches. 1, 2, 3. You're worried about it falling off. I'll show you what I do where I'm holding everything so you don't have to worry about anything falling off. I work on the top inch, maybe 1.5 inches of each needle. Now, We did the purl 3, we're going to knit 5. Okay, when I'm moving the stitches around, you can watch my hands. This thumb and finger are working in simultaneous motion over here for the new knitters who need to know what they're holding on to. The needle rests in my hand and it kind of lays up my palm. So when I'm working, it's very lightly, very gently laying in my hand. So there's not a whole lot of grip. Okay, you can see it just cradles. These 2 fingers are doing most of the work. It's holding the needle so it doesn't drop down out of my hand. And my thumb and finger are pushing stitches up and pulling back at the same time. Okay, so the next stitches we're going to do is, we're on row 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Purl 3, knit 3. Purl 3. Now we're on knit 5. Here we go. I lost track of where we were at. So these 2 fingers are pushing stitches up and separating. Over here, this hand is holding tension, excuse me, on my yarn, and these 2 fingers are holding the needle. Okay. This finger is also holding these stitches here so that if I have to work up really close to the needle, they don't fall off. I've got a tickle in my throat that won't stop. All right, maybe that'll help it. So we're going to do 5 knit stitches now. So again, stitches up and separated. Go into the left of the stitch and to the right and up the back. Counterclockwise wrap your yarn. I'm putting tension here. You can see the tension as I hold this here, and I'm also holding this stitch here as I slide up. This finger drops back down to hold this, but also, well, no, this thumb is holding this while this is doing this. Okay, there's 1. Again, separate the stitch, hold the stitch in the needles, wrap, tension, hold onto your needle and slip your stitch back through. So as I'm holding this tension here on this finger, this stitch will not go any higher up, even if I do like this, because I'm holding it back here. A lot of people don't teach you. Yes, DPNs with toppers. I am a righty. So we need 3 more knit stitches. For me to show you this left-handed, I would have to have started it left-handed, I think. I don't think I can turn it around at this point now, because lefties do it differently. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, now we've got our knit 5. Now we're going to start that repeat back over again with the purl 3. Again, we bring our yarn to the front, go in from the left or from the right to the left of the stitch, and the needle goes to the front. Counterclockwise wrap. Take your stitch back through and drop it off. These are double pointed needles. These are a set of double pointed needles. Let me see. I got a tape measure down here. They are approximately 6 inches long. I don't have a whole lot of room between my camera and my desk. And working with 10-inch long needles, they're banging on the desk the whole time. You were taught right-handed knitting, Linda? Yeah. All right, so we are on the purl 3. This 2 and 3. Now we're going to knit 3. 1, 2, and 3. And then we're going to purl 3, bring our yarn back to the front. It's very important to make sure your yarn is oriented to the right direction for knit and purl. If you don't, and you forget to take your yarn to the back when you start your knit, you are going to put extra stitches, because I'm going to show you this here very quickly. This is what it looks like. Can you tell a difference looking at that once you spread your stuff out? The difference in that one stitch. Can you see that one stitch right there that doesn't look like it's straight? It looks like it goes diagonal. This is because you left your yarn to the front and went to go do a knit stitch. It looks even more disastrous when you do it on the purl side. So always make sure before you start your knits or before you start your purls that your yarn, yeah, it'll make holes. It puts a yarn over in there. It actually gives you extra stitches too. Because if you work that one where you stretched it across your needle, and I'll show you that again because I'll show you underneath too. This is for people who like to figure out what they did wrong. I'm going to go ahead and knit these to the other end and it'll be fine. But I'm going to show you the difference and how you can tell. I'm glad that I could help you out, Erica. Okay, now, as you're working, you can see that all of your stitches, right, come straight down and they're attached to the work below. When you have a yarn over, you see this stitch right here, and it goes diagonal. It does go diagonal. It's not connected underneath. If you run into this while you're working, like if you go your next row, you don't see that. You go to your next row. You will see it, okay? When you get to the next row, you can drop it out if you want to. Just knit it a little tighter right there, okay? Knit these two. You know, when you do this stitch here and this stitch on either side, do them a little tighter. It'll pull it together. Or you can do what they call tink, which is knit spelled backwards, which is funny. And take these stitches back out. And all you have to do to take these stitches back out, let me show you. You can see here the loop from your last stitch around your yarn. Just take your needle in there and then drop this back off this side. And you got the stitch back on there. Again, there's your loop. Then just drop this back off. Work your way back over to there. There's your loop right there. And then go back, reorient your yarn to the right spot for the stitch that you want to do and do your stitches. Okay? I'm going to show you all the good, bad, and the ugly. I have been knitting and crocheting for 40 plus years. I still make mistakes. I get comfortable and confident that I've done this before and I'm going to fly right on through it, and I make so many mistakes. So it's just getting comfortable. Anything you get comfortable with, you get confident that you know what you're doing and you don't have to pay attention. And when you don't pay attention, that's when you mess up. That's why a lot of us crafters have more than one project going. Because we have the long, tedious projects, and then we have the projects that, you know, only take a day or two, and we have a couple of those going in with the long ones just so that we get the gratification of finishing something. Because I can't work on long project after long project because it takes too long. Yes, I will download this tutorial to YouTube. I download all of my classes and anything tutorial-wise. If I do just a chat, and, you know, I don't normally do that. The chat ones I won't. So we're going to go on to row 3 for everyone who is waiting. Llama, you probably proceeded right on because Llama decided she wanted to get the books. But you don't have to. I will tell you each row and what we're going to do. Okay, row 3, we're going to knit 7. So, in from the left to the right, needle up the back. And we are going to, Amanda, I will teach you how to knit if you'd like. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It won't cost you anything but the price of your own materials and 2 hours every Tuesday. I do the knitting portion from 9 to 10. So if you already know how to crochet and you don't want to do the crochet portion, I do that from 8 to 9. So everybody knows that there's a definite break in between the two. Sometimes I do go over a little bit with the crochet, and then again, I will go over a little bit with the knitting. I can push it up to 10:30 if I need to, 10:25 at the latest. All right, we did our knit 7. Now we're going to purl 5. Bring our yarn back to the front, and we're going to purl 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I was taught for free by my mom. She was taught for free by two of my dad's sisters. So my family, if we learn something for free, and it doesn't matter if it comes from family or not, we're going to pass it on for free. We're not going to charge somebody else for something that we learned for free. It's just not right. So the next 9 stitches we are going to knit. So we're going to take our yarn back to the back. Yeah, I love to knit. Knit's my favorite. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to do 9 knits. 6, 7, 8, and 9. Well, Erica, you pick it back up. You pick it right on back up. I might do a couple of lives this week if you guys are available. If you have certain times that you're available, I'll come on here and I'll knit things with you. And I'm going to be honest with you. If you can master the knit stitch and the purl stitch, you can knit anything. You can knit anything. Now we're going to purl 5. So we're going to bring our yarn back to the front. And purl goes in from the right to the left. Keep your needle to the front. Counterclockwise wrap. And that's a purl. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Erica, what is the best time to catch up with you? And then knit the last 7 stitches. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. When during the week do you have free time that might be anywhere between noon and 3 p.m.? Do you have any time during those hours? Thank you for the rose, Sarah. Erica, thank you for the follow. All right, we finished row 3. This should be the second time for everybody who was here at 9, and we are at 10 o'clock right now. So I'm probably not going to continue on today because we're not going to get too much more done. But this pattern you can make, I can show you here. Let me close this book up and move it out of the way. I have a tablet. It's got a large crack in it. You can probably see it on the screen. No, you can't. Good. But it is a Amazon Fire tablet. You can see that that would be wide enough for a tablet cover. You just have to work it the length to cover the tablet. And then you could crochet a little loop, a little chain loop, and put a button on the front so you can have a loop to fasten it shut. I am going to show you before I leave today how you can graft this stuff out. For those of you who know the knit and purl stitch, I'm going to very quickly grab some graph paper from over here. I think it's over here. So I can show you quickly. Yes, I do have my graph paper right here. Gotta straddle dogs, and actually one dog, the other one's still out in the kitchen. He's probably gonna be really mad at me, but he'll get over it. You've got to learn not to be barking. All right, I've got a page torn out here. Now, if you wanted to graph out, you'll be here every Tuesday listening while you work. Oh, honey. Stacey, if there's something that you want to knit, please let me know. I'm working several projects that I have over here, helping other people work through patterns and to get out of that, you know, this is all I can do, but you know the stitches. There's so much stuff. Okay, you're a night owl. All right, I'm going to show you how you can graph out. Let's say you want to make hearts. If you wanted to make hearts on your laptop cover or your tablet cover, for this right here, we're going to say 28. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, 11, 16, 17, 18. Put 2 more over here. This represents 28 stitches. Each block represents a stitch that is on this knitting needle right now. We have 28 plus 5. We have 5 extra stitches than what we have drawn right here. I'm just going to draw this up right here so I know where the edge lines are. Okay? You're going to make yourself a key down here to where a plain block is a knit and a purl block is color. Okay? It'll be knit on the right side. RS is right side. And this is purl on the wrong side. Okay? Now, on the right side, I'll have to show you that a little later. But to graph something out like this, and this will hit me in a minute. My brain's just not functioning, but I need to add something to this key because when you flip it over, making the sleeves come in a circle, you can knit the sleeves flat and seam them up. If you don't want to seam, you actually pick up stitches, okay? I can give you a little demo of that with what I have sitting right here. Say this is what you want to close up as a sleeve for knitting, okay? If this was your sleeve, the opening where your armpit would be on a sweater, you would go through and pick up stitches all along here, and you would use these needles or a very tiny circular needle. You would have to go down to these eventually, or Addi Flexi Flips, and I can show you those too. I love them. I'm going to replace all my double pointeds with the Addi Flexi Flips. But you pick up stitches all around here, and then you work it in the circle. I can show you that later on once we get some of the stitches done. And I've actually done a miniature sweater on here. It took me 3.5 hours. I did post it to YouTube, and it shows you basic sweater construction. I did it flat and seamed it together, but I can show you how to do that as well, how to work it in a circle. It's easy. You just have to get used to having all these other needles in your hand. But say you wanted to make a heart, okay? We're going to draw a little teeny tiny heart just right down here, just like this. It's not going to be the greatest of hearts because I'm not a great artist, okay? All of these blocks that this heart is touching, and I probably should have done it a little bit more so that it was like this. Let me do a little bit better job here because I'm not really going to be able to show you how to do this if I don't do it right. So let's do it right from the start. It goes over one. Kind of trying to keep it over the same area here. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to shade in all these square boxes here like this around the outside of this heart, right? And you're going to make a square image of a heart. This is going to be a little wonky because I'm going to have to fix this because I didn't do the same. You're just going to replicate what you drew over here, over here. Okay, and this squared off version will be all hashed in because this is what you're going to do. Okay, you're also going to have to know how to identify your stitches. We're not going to worry about this or this. On the other key, on the wrong side, you will knit the knits and you will purl the purls. And I will show you how to identify a knit and a purl. Yarn is getting expensive, and it's because of the delivery costs. It's because of the cost of gas and inflation. Everything has gone up, and the big corporations are still getting all their money. Us little people are the ones that all that's fallen on. But soft yarn, I purchased, and I want to share this with you guys, Dollar Tree. I don't know if your Dollar Tree sells yarn. My Dollar Tree sells yarn. It sells chenille yarn. This is the softest yarn that I have felt in a long time. This is a 50-gram skein of yarn. And it cost me $1.25. Dollar Tree. They have some cotton yarns there. I don't know if they have any acrylics. I did notice some cotton and some chenille. But if your store does not sell it, you can go on DollarTree.com and you can purchase anything that Dollar Tree sells off the .com. They will ship it to the store. I don't know if it's free to be shipped to the store or not, but it's held in your name and you go pick it up. My sister orders stuff all the time that our Dollar Tree does not have, and she goes to the store and picks it up. So, but the thing about it is, with the Dollar Tree, you have to buy it by the case. So however many are in a case, that's how many you have to buy. They will not break the cases up. Yeah, but this stuff is so soft. And I bought 4 skeins of this, so I have 200 grams. I don't know what I'm going to make with it yet, but yeah, $1.25. So if you're thinking about trying to do crochet and knit and you're not quite sure if you want to do it, they do have knitting needles at my Dollar Tree as well. I haven't seen any crochet hooks yet. But I don't think you want to buy a whole set of knitting needles and a whole set of crochet hooks of the same size. That's the one downfall for the Dollar Tree. When you buy it offline, you have to buy a whole case. Walmart has yarn, Mainstay. It's cheaper than Red Heart by like $1 or $1.50. So those are the couple. The ends popped out. Yeah, I keep all my crochet hooks in this candy tin. All my crochet hooks are in here, except for my furls. All my crochet hooks. My furls hooks, I have a shoe organizer that hangs on the wall that I have all my knitting needles and crochet hooks in. Yeah, Mainstay does seem to be softer than the Red Heart. Definitely, for sure. But when you're doing this, graphing this out, because this is basically what they've done. They use knit and purl stitches to make a design. You can write names in blankets. You can put stars. You can put horses. You can put cars. Anything that you can draw out on here. Once you get it drawn out, you just have to square it out to the graph. And then I'm going to show you how to tell the difference between a knit and a purl stitch on your knitting needle. I'm going to show you probably on this one here. Okay. When you look at the bottom of your stitch that is on the knitting needle, you see this group right here where you have these little V's. Do you see these little V's underneath of the stitch that's on the needle? That's a knit stitch. Okay? That's a knit stitch. You see these dashes at the base of the stitch on the needle. Those are purl stitches. So if you do this technique like this, you can write names in bubble letters, like if you wanted to do an M. You'd have to make it a little bigger so that you had the down here. Do it like bubble letters. Of course, this is rudimentary drawing here. All of this inside of here would be all purl stitches. Now, the way you would read this is a chart, okay? Row 1 is always the right side of your work, okay? You're going to work this row across this way. So each one of these stitches here will all be a knit stitch. Well, Erica, I am glad that I was able to help you. Now, all the odd stitches are going to go up one side of all the odd rows, are going to go up one side of the chart. So when you work your way across here, right, when you come to row 2, actually on this one, you're not going to be able to knit the knits and purl the purls because it's going to put an extra row in there. On the right side, you're going to knit. This will be knit on the right side, and it'll be purl on the wrong side. So on all the odd rows, which will be your right side rows, you're going to do this. On all your even rows, you are going to do the opposite. So that way, when we come across here to do row 2, all of these white blocks are going to be purls because we are now on the wrong side. Okay? You can also use this graph for many different applications. You can use this for double knitting. You can do this for crochet graphgans. Each one of these squares is a stitch. Each one of these can be different colors because for a crochet graphgan, this background might be white and this heart's done in red. So when you do all these 28 stitches, 28 single crochets, half double crochets, whatever you want to use for your graphgan, you come back over here, all of these stitches will be white until you get to this one, and then you'll do one red stitch right there. And then you go the rest white. So you can use this for knitting, crocheting. You can do cross stitch like this. Needlepoint. So graphing can be a lot of different things you can use this for. So I hope I've been helpful today. We did do a little bit. We did get to see a partial repeat of this. I will be uploading this, and the directions for the two, I'm going to start adding those to the YouTube. When I upload these to YouTube, I will add the directions. Pam, I am going to be uploading this later on this evening to YouTube, and the pattern directions for what I did for the crochet and what I did for knitting, I will put in the description. Okay? I'm here every Tuesday from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time because I'm on the East Coast of the United States. Lama, I thank you ever so much for joining me. She's way over on another continent. I will have to, I'll have to give a share. I'll have to see what I can do. But yes, I am here pretty much every Tuesday. If you follow me and you set your notifications for all, you will get notified when I go live. You'll get a notification. Pam, my YouTube is there is a link in TikTok that will take you directly to my YouTube. If you go to my profile page, immediately over my videos, there is a Linktree link, and it links everything in that I share with class. The books that I'm working out of, if you want to purchase them, there's links for those as well. You don't have to. It is absolutely not necessary. Like I said, I will give you the directions for each thing as we go, and when I post it to YouTube, the directions will be in there as well, written out, so that you can follow along with the video in case you miss class. So I thank everybody for coming out today, for all the gifts, all the likes, all the shares, and mostly all the support. I appreciate every last one of you. So we're going to end for today, and may all your stitch counts match, and as usual, happy crafting.